Sair da escola já com uma formação profissional no currículo? Parece bom demais pra ser verdade, né? Pois é. No ensino técnico do Senac, isso é possível. É ensino médio junto com formação técnica, que acontece durante os 3 anos. Lá, eles usam metodologia para projetos, desenvolvendo competências como resolução de problemas, pensamento crítico e colaboração, além de valores éticos e sustentáveis. Quer saber? Senac. Acesse sp.senac.br/ensino médio e saiba mais. Ideal mesmo para o mundo atual seria fazer o ensino médio junto com o curso técnico, certo? É no Senac que o aluno tem autonomia de verdade, formação cidadã, foco na diversidade, preparação para o Enem, material didático sem taxas e muito mais. Na real, tem tudo que você precisa para se sentir preparado para a vida. Seja para entrar no mundo do trabalho ou te ajudar a decidir o que fazer na faculdade. Quer saber? Senac. Vem comigo! Acesse sp.senac.br/ensino-médio-técnico.
You will dream it.
They wanna know.
Hey,
Neil.
hey,
Neil. Come on.
hey. I want to be famous.
Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Bobby Finger,
I'm Lindsay Weber.
and this is an all-new episode of Who's There, our weekly call-in show where we take your calls at 619-WHO-THEM and answer your questions, comments, concerns, new
Complaints.
sign-offs. We address your new sign-offs, complaints, and just, fan calls from creators and stars of hit HBO series.
Just like celebrities just calling in and being like, hey.
Yeah. Our celebrity listeners just call in and they say hello.
A girl called who, like, I love this. I was just like, whoa, like, the Lena Dunham call threw her for a loop, but not because she liked or disliked Lena Dunham, but just the idea that like a them listened. And then she was like, if a them is listening, like, what does that make me listening? Like a who, but like more of a who than I was before. She was like having this like existential like crisis about.
We love an existential crisis.
And I was like, oh no.
No, I love it. I love it. We have so many calls this week, though, so I really think we should just get started instead of banter.
No banter. Oh,
What could we even banter about?
If you want banter, we're not going to do it here today. You can go to the Patreon because we literally just reduced the price so that for only $5 a month, which is like negligible over the year, it's like a latte a month. In New York City.
I really hate when people
I know,
equate
me too.
money to coffee prices. It's a latte.
You can get access to not just the newsletter once a week, which is, by the way, a really fucking good newsletter, but
I love our
also
newsletter.
all of the bonus episodes. We put out 2 a month, and we just hit 1,000 Patreons, so we're doing a bonus DVD commentary send up where we're gonna have you guys vote on the movie, and we're gonna do a fucking commentary. It's gonna be sick. So go to the Patreon. Even if you're listening to this like weeks from now, you can go sign up and hear all this stuff.
Every episode begins with a ton of banter.
Just
like you...
unasked for banter. Beyond.
Yeah, but we love to banter. But that's too much bantering right now. We've done too much bantering for the main episode. So let's start with comments.
Hi, I had to pause the podcast to call and say that clear blue, easy to read screens, if they say pregnant, it stays on for 6 months, so you can use it as a prop all the way through. If you get a not pregnant, it disappears within like an hour.
Honestly, good to know, because if you ever need to like do a prank, like a really bad prank on your,
Just
partner, just save that pregnancy test. Hey, give that pregnancy test to a friend. They could use it for a prank.
I feel like you're just as inclined to want to show it off 6 months later if it's not pregnant as you are if you are pregnant. And I know that we got a lot of calls. We did get a lot of calls from people talking about like how Clear Blue doesn't like aligning themselves with people who don't want to be pregnant. That's like one of their tenets of their brand, which is that.
But also a pregnancy test is great when you don't want to be pregnant too. If anything,
frame
it's
it. Put it in a
more
shadow
valuable
box.
because if you're pregnant, you'll eventually figure it out. Knowing you're not pregnant early is very important. You know what I mean? Sorry.
I know what you mean.
I
Also,
just
think
saw
it's
what the
funny.
Constitution means to me last night, and I'm thinking things.
Oh, you're thinking.
I'm just saying.
Are you more woke? Are you smarter now?
Oh,
What
big
the
time.
Constitution mean to me? Did it make you smarter?
Hugely smarter. Hugely. Big smart over here. Big smarty. Queen
got a-
smarty.
Big ol' smarty over
Big
there.
old smarty over here.
Look at you, big old smarty. It'd be funny if you sent in your Clear Blue pregnancy test that said not pregnant to, oh no, even if it said pregnant, to Framebridge or something. Not that Framebridge is a sponsor, but like getting it framed right, and you put it in a shadow box, you have it up on your wall, and then 6 months later it just goes
disappears.
away. It just goes away. It just goes away.
I just, can somebody send me their pregnant clear blue so I can get the spawn? Because then I can use it,
Hold it up.
Because they don't want my not
God.
pregnant.
You're going to get
stick.
so many clear blues in the mail.
Don't send me. You don't know my address. Don't send it to me.
Hi, Lindsay and Bobby. This is Jessie, first time, long time. I'm pausing this week's episode about Sarah Jessica Parker. I happened to listen to that Terry Gross interview with her, and you've probably seen this too, but it seems like she was misquoted in a lot of the headlines. She never actually says, or she doesn't say, that the co-star she's referring to was in Sex and the City, but she does seem to be referring to the period in time in which she had a lot of power in the industry, which made me think it was a movie filmed during her Sex and the City time. But she's not even explicit about that. So it could be any movie, anytime, though it seems likely more recent. So I'm hoping that you all can please speculate again about who you think it could be. Love you both so much. Clay Aiken in Greece.
And then there's one more call.
Hi guys. I just had to pause the episode. You're talking about the Sex and the City movie star that SJP would have reported. I don't think that it's Matthew McConaughey, only because they also were in Failure to Launch. Like, who knows when that movie came out, but I feel like if she reported him, she probably wouldn't have worked with him again later on in movies. So I don't think it's Matthew McConaughey. I feel like maybe I shouldn't take guesses, but I feel like it's probably Will Arnett. There's just a vibe, I feel. Anyway, you guys rock. Lena in Greece, crunch crunch. R.I.P. Scarjo. Bye.
So Us Weekly reported that it was an actor, a movie star in Sex and the City. But then other places reported that it was just somebody in her career. So you're right. Like,
well, this person actually listened to the interview and said that no, it's just someone.
But we were going off this Us Weekly headline, which ended up being very wrong, and they misquoted her, and then just misconstrued it completely. So now the thing is, it's even vaguer than. There's even more options than we could even imagine, because it's like in anything she's ever done in her whole career, somebody who she wouldn't have worked with again, like Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
Did she even make it explicit about the gender of the person?
Fair.
You know who it could be?
Who?
Helen Hunt. And Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Fuck up.
Helen Hunt. Could be a problem.
Don't you drag Helen
problem.
into this. Helen's a professional.
But she did say movie star. And so because she said movie star, I think a lot of people were saying Will Arnett. I think Will Arnett definitely gives off sleazy, skeezy, not so friendly vibes. Mm-hmm. And I know your argument was that actors have no sense of themselves or each other, but I really think that it's hard for people. Will Arnett literally hasn't been in movies. I know,
but I feel like she might
TV
say
star.
a big star. It just doesn't seem like, would she get specific on what type of what would she say, big TV star or big? It just seems like you would just say a big actor that you guys
a big
know,
movie star.
A big
she
movie,
said movie
star. Yeah. So maybe she is being accurate. I mean, you'd have to weed through her career at this point. It's there's so many people that she's worked with, and she really did not specify time. I mean,
Diane Keaton. It's Diane Keaton. Isn't Craig T. Nelson sort of an asshole? I'm thinking of Family Stone.
I have no idea what he's like. I just like him because of Parenthood.
I have no idea what he's like. A photo of Craig T. Nelson. I have no idea what he's like.
You're isn't he an asshole as if I know him? I don't know him. But yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. I don't really want to speculate on anymore. Right? I don't know. We don't know.
Let's just go to the first question.
Okay. Hi, Bobby and Lindsay. I'm a longtime listener, first-time Patreon subscriber. I'm calling about earthquakes and faults. It's stopped shaking. I'm calling from Kern County, and it stopped shaking, but there's been a lot of earthquakes, and everyone's like, oh, is this the San Andreas fault? And Dr. Lucy is on the TV. She uses them of earthquake scientists. And if you live in LA, you know who she is. But I just wanted to say that San Andreas fault is a them fault. But no, it's not the San Andreas fault. I actually had to like hang up when I first called and look up the actual fault because I couldn't remember what it is, but it's the Garlock fault. And so it's a very hooey fault, but it's been putting on quite a show for us. And so, yeah, I just wanted to say that San Andreas is a them. I don't even think that there are any other faults that I can think of that are as them-y as San Andreas. But so, yeah, just wanted to call about that. Okay, good form, Bella Thorne, crunch, crunch, me and Grease, yada, yada. Okay, bye.
Lindsay, can you name another big fault line? I mean, I'm not saying this to be like, hey, bitch, can you fucking do it? Because I can't either. I couldn't just like name another fault.
I only know San Andreas because of the movie.
I think that's the only fault line I actually know the name of too.
This one's called Garlock.
This is Garlock. So a funny thing about Garlock, and the reason I wanted to play this call is, number one, we have a lot of listeners in California, so I feel like earthquakes are very top of mind.
They're top of mind for me too, and I'm not in California, gotta say.
Yeah. Number two, I always think of when I think of a fault line, San Andreas. Number one, them. I can't think of any other ones. I feel like it's the only them fault line, at least in America.
There's definitely them-y fault lines outside America.
The Ring of Fire, the ring of volcanic activity in the Pacific, cool. But I can't think of another fault line, which leads me to suspect that every other fault line in America is a who. And this just proves it.
We've like personified the big one to be the most important impending, thing. And the big one, is resting on, when you mention the big one, you have to talk about San Andreas fault line, right? Like that's
the Cascadia fault system, I guess.
I mean, you listen to the podcast, right? You love that podcast.
Oh, I love that. Well, I liked the podcast, and then it got a little wackadoo. Like, it didn't get very interesting, and everyone they talked to had just the same commentary, which is that, like, oh, yeah, we haven't done anything to prepare, but, like, what can we do? We just don't think about it. Okay,
yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
One of the ways I want to bring this back into who, them, them, and the celebrity territory is my favorite commentary about the recent earthquakes came from Mira Sorvino on Twitter, who's very prolific on Twitter, usually very woke, talks about like, social justice, a lot of like very important, crucial social issues. She's not like typically fun and funny on Twitter. She's serious. She's very serious. She's like a less irritating Alyssa Milano. But she tweeted on July 6th, "Is there any possible truth to this theory of a Russian seismic weapon being linked to our earthquakes here in California? Tweeps, please fill in as much info as possible." And she quote tweets this random guy, Patrick Fields, who's literally no one, and he posted a link to a story from a website, beforeitsnews.com, about Russia hinting earthquake weapon is active as 7.1 trembler strikes California. So she's like, is there a Russia conspiracy to make earthquakes in California, is what Mira Sorvino is earnestly asking. And then the next tweet says, "By the way, I know it sounds ridiculous. I just found it somewhat intriguing." And then a few minutes later, I guess she realizes that maybe it's not the best look. So she tweets, "Maybe it was all just Ramon." From Romy Michelle. So she turned it into a joke. Good one, Mira.
Is that an earthquake? No. It's Ramon.
The other thing about Garlock that I keep forgetting.
It's Garlock?
Yeah, Garlock.
What is Garlock?
The other thing, I don't know. Okay. The other thing about Garlock that I wanted to bring up is that when you Google it, so many websites talk about like, we'd never heard of this. No one knew what this was. Even people in California are like, who is Garlock? We didn't know her. But she is like very active right now.
Wait, let me share something with you. There's a fault in Chile called the San Ramon Fault, and it's a thrust fault. That's the joke.
Mira, add to your thread.
I'm just saying, like, that's the joke. I mean, do a little research. Just kidding. I basically went on Wikipedia and searched faults. Okay, we need to move on.
Hey, Lindsay and Bobby. Watching Love Island US. So excited. Who the hell's the host? Ariel Vandenberg? Yeah, I need to know. I have no idea. I'm dying. All right, thanks. Yummy Pop Scarjo. Me and Grace?
Who the hell's the
This
host?
This headline you put in is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Spot the difference. Love Island USA host Ariel Vandenberg looks identical to Caroline Flack, and her love life is even more tragic.
So funny and so rude. Caroline Flack is the host of Love Island UK, the OG Love Island, that is currently on air every single night in the UK and is a phenomenon, as told by Lena Dunham to this podcast exclusively. And then Love Island US just launched, and it's the same production company because it's like pretty much identical. And Ariel Vanderberg is the equivalent to Caroline Flack. And Caroline Flack is like a semi personality. We talked about her. She like
Yeah, we talked about her.
She's
There
got
were
a whole
some good
whatever.
videos of her, yeah.
There's so much, but Ariel Vanderberg is funny because she's like the Americanized version, which means she was a Vine star, and then she like, and then like a personality, but like not actually like a comedian. And she also dated. Well, they're saying her love life was more tragic. She literally dated Will Arnett, which is hilarious because we were just like, wow, tragic.
Which is tragic.
And she dated Will Arnett, and then she dated the lead singer of the Arctic Monkeys, which actually isn't tragic. It's quite cool.
That's very cool.
Alex Turner.
Liking
he was
the
like
Arctic
a
Monkeys
big
is very
deal.
cool.
Yeah. And now what's really then she dated Adam Levine for a month.
Tragic.
After dating
Tragic.
Christopher Masterson.
Sorry. That is tragic.
That's dark. And now it's funny, she's dating her fellow Vine star, this guy named Matt Kushel, who like they like did Vines together, like, and everybody's like, are they dating? Are they dating? Are they dating? And they were like, no. And now they're dating. So it's like kind of romantic.
It's kind of romantic.
But the thing about the hosts of the Love Island is that they never are there. Like they're never there. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, you had said like the host doesn't matter because before we were prepping the episode, I hadn't seen Love Island yet. And you were like, well, she's not really in it. And then I watched the first episode of Love Island and she's featured heavily. But that's just because it's the introduction. Because the second episode, she's barely in it.
Basically, because the way that they communicate with the Love Islanders is through text messages. So they really don't need a host to show up and be like, okay, time for like the recoupling or whatever. And they also have this like narration, this like voiceover that's like makes jokes. So they don't really need her to do that. So they have these like other tools that make the hosts the hosts rarely show up. Like they'll do total recouplings, which I'll explain in a second, without anyone there, just text messages like from God texting them being like, now do this, now do this, now do this.
What did you think of American Love Island? Because I've watched both episodes.
I thought it was perfect. It's the same. First of all, I was very reluctant to watch it because I'm very busy watching Love Island UK. And like, how am I going to watch them both? Which the answer is like, I'm just going to, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I also was worried that it wouldn't be, I didn't know it would be the same production company. I kind of didn't know the whole situation with it. And like, it's incredible. It's the same exact look. It's the same exact feel. It's the same exact music.
I love that they play... They play literally 7 seconds of 1,000 songs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like it'll be like,
yeah.
Waiting for my juice, waiting on the juice. And then that's it.
Yeah.
And everyone gets a different song.
So the part where they dance, they have a slow dance party and they show them in slow motion having fun. That happens on
so
Love
that's
Island
a thing on UK?
constantly.
Where they're like doing like
when
like
they
flips and
go
little
play the
caterpillars.
game and they run in
Worms?
slow motion and they make a joke about that. That's like a Love Island classic when they run in slow motion.
The dance is called the worm, right? Not the caterpillar.
The worm. When they play the games where they have to kiss each other, that is the most... That's the classic Love Island trap.
Does it get nastier? Because I kind of like that they're all nice right now, which is really funny because like everyone's being nice to each other and you get the sense that it's just going to explode.
No, because when the girl was like, I believe in girl code, that is Love Island's #1 issue where the girls go, if you want to go for like the guy I'm dating, you should like come talk to me first. And it's like, why? Like, I'm never going to see you again. And we're like on this island to like do a thing.
I just want you to tell me. I just want you to tell me. Just bring it up
I really
to me
like
first.
want to make friendships. Like I'm just really into these friends. Like that is like the #1 problem on Love Island is women wanting to talk to each other first. So like it happens in the first episode or the second episode of Love Island US. But in Love Island UK, there was this huge drama because the girls were mad that one of the girls wasn't hanging out with them. Like, why won't she hang out with us? Because she's like too focused on her boyfriend. It's like literally that's what she's here to do. Like that is the point of the show. And they were mad at her for it. And then it all like blew up in her face.
I forgot to vote yesterday.
I didn't vote either. I was so pissed. Who on the US Love Island are you like into?
Oh, well, I'm really into... I have an answer for this. My favorite is Weston, Country Weston.
You love him.
From Dallas.
You love Country Weston.
Love Weston. There really honestly is...
He's not cute, but I like his vibe. And they like him too.
I mean, honestly, there's like second place is so far from Weston, but I will say I like Cashels. I would like to see Weston in Cashels Birkenstocks.
Well, I love that the two guys, this is so Love Island, the two guys that no one stepped forward for. So in the beginning, they bring out the women and then they bring out each man one at a time and the women have to step forward if they're into the man. And then the man can choose anyone. No one liked Weston and no one liked Cashel. So it's like the dudes who people are like not immediately horny for are the ones that end up being really cool because they have like good personalities, which is always what happens on Love Island. Like it is the signature of this show. So like,
they're all so like they are really corny. But did you notice the part where Yamin they're like making fun of someone and they're talking shit about someone and Yamin keeps like repeating the same joke when it's like, oh, she's got the tea, she's got the tea, and he starts going, ee, that's the sound of the tea boiling, and then like he just keeps repeating it like no one had heard it, and he's like, ee. He just keeps making this persistent tea boiling, and I was like, Yamin, everyone gets this.
Wait,
stop
you know
it.
who is really good? Who's really good? The grocery store guy who's dumb as hell. When they show
this tattoo represents my sisters and my mom, and then she goes, "That's cool."
Well, she goes, "What's your tattoo mean?" He goes, "Well, I got it because I thought it would look good, like 3 lines. I saw it on somebody's arm, and I got it. And then,
I guess it could.
I could also represent my 3 sisters."
And she's like, cool.
Well, when they're like sitting, him and that girl, the girl that he chose, who's also boring as hell, are sitting like talking. Their conversation is wild. It's like, I love theme parks. I also love theme parks. I love the rides. I also love the rides.
I mean, they're 23.
No, but just like, it's perfect. And they're like, we're really connecting.
I love when when Kira got back from the date with Cashel and they were like, how was the date? She was like, it was amazing. And I was like, wait, I just watched the date and it was boring as hell.
So Love Island is so good because they're so like, it's so boring, but it's also so exciting because of how they manipulate them. Like, I mentioned the game. So the games, they all are just like these funny games are like,
is there a game every episode? Sorry.
Not every episode, but it's like a get to know you game. But what makes it extra devious is so these people have just met each other and they're all trying to like get on each other essentially to like make their mark so that when there's a recoupling, which is essentially like the men or the women, they switch off, get to choose who they want to be coupled with, and the people who aren't chosen are going to get kicked off the island. So you really want to like...
Recoupling is such a scientific
You
term.
want everybody to want you.
Okay.
Essentially. It is a scientific.
Okay.
It's like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's great about these games is part of the game is it's like kiss the boy who you think XYZ. So you could either play the game. Who cares about winning the game? Or you could just kiss whoever you want to like be kissed by you so that you
horny,
can be like, oh, like, are you horny for me? We just kiss. So then you have just like constant, just like kissing. So 2 girls who are fighting over the same guy just keep kissing him.
It's a really good show. The barrier to entry for Love Island UK is
high.
It's high.
It's
high, and I don't really have the patience. But it was just straight up on CBS last night, so I plopped on the couch and I watched the whole goddamn thing. And I caught up. And CBS is also smart. God, this sounds like an ad. But the you know how a lot of like I use the DirecTV Now thing. Like watching the Tuesday night episode, the first episode, was incredibly easy. And the moment a show like this, especially a show like this, gets hard to watch, gets hard to catch up
you're
on,
done.
you're through.
You're done.
You're done.
You're
and
done.
I
because
was able to catch up really quickly.
This is not Chernobyl. You're not like, I gotta tune in next. You're like, if I don't watch one episode of Love Island, I'm done forever. Like, I could easily forget these people.
Although I gotta say, Samantha Morton and Stellan Skarsgård on Celebrity Love Island, I'm in. I'm in. Who are you gonna kiss, Stellan? Stellan!
Where did that come from? Just your brain?
No, because you mentioned Chernobyl.
Oh, you want a
You haven't
Chernobyl
seen
Love Island.
Chernobyl.
No, I don't even
You
know
haven't
like
seen
those
Chernobyl.
references. I was like, oh, cool. Stellan Skarsgård, put him on Love Island. So Love Island, you imagine Love Island US, but with amazing accents. So that's like why the UK is a little bit heightened versus the US. But I will say they did an incredible job. It's a perfect match. They did not.
It's a carbon copy.
They didn't spare any expenses. Like, I respect them for that because why change something that so clearly works somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Will America, though, become as obsessed with the UK? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if we have it in us.
The ratings are low, and I'm seeing a lot of headlines like, oh, CBS, like, Love Island US ratings, disappoint. But it's like, this is going to be on every day for the next month. I feel like there's a chance for this to grow.
It's every day, but it's a short amount of time. So what's so nice is like it's over in a month, even though it's like the longest.
The last episode is August 7th.
Right, which is nice because like you want that quick summer TV. Like
you're done.
You fit it in like holy moly, get it all in there, like squeeze it into summer. You are hitting me exactly when I have nothing to watch. I'm only watching Love Islands. Like what else is there?
One thing I did find I was like incredibly charmed by was
Yeah.
how often I would just, because I was fully alone. Like I was just like on the couch alone in the dark watching and like fully sober. And the number of times I just like laughed out loud at just like the absurdity of something.
Yeah.
I just kept laughing
Yeah.
and I was really, that sold the deal for me. The number of times I just laughed at some inanity.
If you guys are into Love Island, we should do like a live Love Island.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
like,
fun.
Watch. Like it'd be fun.
That would be really fun.
If you're-
like the finale, August 7th.
Or just like any episode.
Who needs Game of Thrones? There's Love Island.
Who needs it? Who fucking needs it?
Hi, Who Weekly. So I went down a rabbit hole this morning and I found an article about Stranger Things season 3 where there's this new character played by Maya Hawke, who's the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. Didn't know she existed. What's her story? Who is she? Has she ever been in anything before? Help me. Thank you. Good form, Bella Thorne.
I watched all of Stranger Things like 2 weeks ago because I had to watch it for the other podcast. And the
Do you think she was a breakout?
Well, I didn't read anything, and I was like, "Oh, I really like this new character." Had literally no idea who she was until the final. And I think it's the penultimate episode. She has like a big
How could you
reveal that
not
I will not
tell?
spoil. Well, that's what drove me crazy because at the end I was like, "She sounds like Uma Thurman," and I was like, "She sounds. This is so wild." And then I looked her up. And I saw it was Maya Hawke, and I was like, "Oh, she fucking sounds just like Uma Thurman because she's Uma Thurman's
She's a
daughter."
perfect mix.
She looks like Uma. She has Ethan's mannerisms. It's so, I mean, it's uncanny.
You know that thing online where you like mix your photos and it like the computer gives you
Yeah.
like a fucked up baby that looks like you? If they did that like with their faces, you would get Maya Hawke. Like it would
Helps
be
that
exact.
both of them are hot.
No,
I mean, it does
she's
help
very
that when
hot.
your parents are hot.
So I have not watched Stranger Things, but months ago I told you about Maya Hawke. I was like, she's gonna be a thing because I saw her in the Masterpiece Theater version, like
Oh,
create
yeah.
like a
That no one
Masterpiece
watched.
Theater special of Little Women in which she played Jo, which she was very good in, alongside the girl who's now the star in the Society, who's like a huge up and comer. What's her face?
We
talked about her.
Catherine Newton.
Yeah, she's in
Yeah, I
that
like
Little
Catherine
Women adaptation. So is Murder, She Wrote. What's her face?
Angela Lansbury.
She's in it.
Oh, that's fun.
And I think Florence no, she's in the new one. She's in the new Little Women, the next Little Women.
Florence
But anyways,
Pugh. Oh,
Maya Hawke,
she's in the Greta Gerwig joint.
this was a very like faithful adaptation of Little Women, and it was fantastic, really well done, really nice, and Maya Hawke is fantastic in it. Like really
Great.
fucking good in it. So
But she's good in Stranger Things. She has a really big role. Like she's a new character, but she has a really significant role.
Yeah.
She's like the you remember Steve?
of course.
Cootie Steve. She's like they work in the same ice cream place, and so they just like play off of each other. There's like tension, blah 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 blah. Then there's like a fun little reveal at the end. She's really really good, and I don't know. There's not much to say about her career because she doesn't have much of one. But this thing you put in from Ethan Hawke it's such a peak dad
It's
thing
so
to do,
sweet.
but it's the Hollywood version of something a typical parent would put online. And
I mean,
it is-
she happens to be good, but like this is so nepotism-y, it hurts. Like obviously, like if she wasn't a model, she like the fact that she can talk means she can be an actress, but if she couldn't, she'd be a model. Do you know what I mean? Because it's so nepotism-y.
Here's what Ethan Hawke wrote on Instagram. Some of you may have missed her in last year's BBC production of Little Women. Some of you may have missed her work at Juilliard. Also, how are you just going to see it? She was only there for 1 year. I know many missed out on numerous high school productions. Heck, I even missed a few, and I'm her father. Some of you may know her music. Some may not. But ladies and gentlemen, get to know Maya Hawke. She's the real thing.
It's sweet. It's sweet. And the other part of this that I thought was funny was having to do with Stranger Things. I should have said this a little bit earlier, but it says they're talking about her haircut a lot for some reason in press, like that it's good. I don't know. It's like short. It's just a haircut.
I kept bringing it up while Josh and I were watching because I was
Why?
like, her haircut. It's really cool. It's just incredibly contemporary. She's a character that looks like they dropped her out of 2019.
So she
and
doesn't
the show
look
is-
like that show's
the show is
obsessed with the 80s and 90s, and she doesn't
right.
look
So
like
the
that
show
at all.
is so all about nostalgia, and here's Maya Hawke, and it looks like they just dropped her in from 2019, which I don't know.
Robin's haircut isn't pivotal to the plot, but it does offer some insight into the character. Hair department head Sarah Hinsgall, who's worked on Stranger Things since its first season, tells Refinery29 that when she initially designed Robin's look, the main goal was clear: to make her look as different from Nancy Wheeler as possible. So like, it's just funny to me that they like brought on a new girl and they were like, how do we just distinguish her from the other girl? Like, we cannot have these two girls. Meanwhile, there are 40,000 young boys on Stranger Things that I could not tell apart for the life of me.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
But the girl comes on, they're like, we got to make sure she has a different haircut or else people are going to think that she's Nancy. Nancy's the
Nancy's,
other one.
what's her name? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Natalia Dyer.
It's
Look
a
at her.
cute haircut. It's just
It's a cute hair, but that's like not. The show is so 80s, and that haircut just doesn't feel 80s.
God, she looks just
but
like Uma Thurman. It's
she
fucked
looks
up.
just like her, and she sounds just like her. It's fucking. I mean, it's jarring.
So the only thing, and this is, I don't want to be like, oh, Maya Hawke, the only thing is who she's dating, but there really isn't like much about her online
new.
that's like
She's fresh.
anything. Like, she's fresh,
She's only
she's
21.
young, she's the daughter of famous people, so she's like very much like private or there's not a lot about her online or whatever. But the one thing that I did find that caused me to literally yelp out loud when I found it at like 3 a.m. last night and like 1 a.m. was that she's dating Gus Wenner. Do you guys know who Gus Wenner is? Do you know who the Wenners are? You do if you work in media. If not, you probably don't.
Gus Wenner, he owns Rolling Stone.
So Gus Wenner is the son, the 20-something son. How old is he now? He's probably a little bit older than 20. He got
I think he's
Rolling
late
Stone when he
20s
was
now.
20. A while ago.
God, how old is he now?
Jan Wenner is the guy who ran Rolling Stone through its peak.
Mm-hmm.
He got old. He gave Rolling Stone essentially to his sons. And mostly his son Gus, who was the only one interested in.
He's 28. He's 28 or 29 because he was 26 in 2016 when he got Rolling Stone.
That's insane. Because when he got Rolling Stone, of course, everybody was obsessed with it because it was just like, this is so nepotism-y, it hurts.
What?
Another
Yeah.
nepotism person. Why is he running Rolling Stone? Rolling Stone media is not doing well anyways. Don't give Rolling Stone to this teenager essentially, this child. And Gus sold Us Weekly because they were owned by Wenner to
Media.
American media. So I'm not thrilled with him because he basically sold away Us Weekly to repay his debts. He had a lot of debts when his father accumulated a lot of debts.
And let's be honest, this relationship is not going to last. There's no way in hell this relationship is going to last, but it's wild that it's existing at all.
When Gus Wenner got Rolling Stone, they wrote about him, and one of the things, the details was, and then there's his alt country band, Gus and Scout. Guess who Scout is, Bobby? Who's Scout?
Scout Willis.
Scout Willis. The other half of the duo being Scout Willis, the daughter of Demi and Bruce. So they literally had this like band together. It's just such a funny small world of like famous people and their children just continuing.
Hi, Weekly, medium time, long time. I need you guys to break down the Omarion, Little Fizz, Apryl Jones saga. Apparently, Apryl Jones, who has 2 children by Omarion, is now dating Omarion's B2K band member, Little Fizz, and they are about to have a child together. So, yeah, needless to say, there's a lot of drama. Apryl Jones was posting an IG live story a couple days ago where she was talking about all the celebrities who like slide in her DM and like want her. And she was talking about Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Durant, A$AP Rocky, all these random people. Apparently they all want it. And I just need to know what's going on between Omarion and Little Fizz. How is this happening? What's happening? This is kind of crazy. All right. Thank you. I'm so lucky to be with you, keeping me from my shadows. Oh, bye.
This is funny.
I'm so
This is
thankful
funny.
you called about this.
So let's start with the Who's. Omarion and Lil Fizz.
2 members,
They were members
of B2K, famous for the song Bum
Bum,
Bum
bum,
Bum. But also many other songs.
Who's the
They're
guest
a
in
big-
that? It's
they're a
Diddy,
big boy
right?
band.
It's B2K Diddy.
But they had a few other hits,
and
minor
they're
hits.
doing the big boy band thing now, which is like the reunion tour. They're in
But
the middle of the
Omarion broke
reunion
out, did his
tour.
own solo thing. He had a recent hit. Well, like the most recent hit was "Supposed to Be." Remember that song? It was pretty catchy.
Oh.
Chris Brown was on it, so we don't support it. But
Maybe I don't remember that
I'm
song.
only
actually.
supposed to be.
Oh.
And I'm supposed to be. Cute. Yeah. Sorry.
So
Omarion and Apryl Jones were together. They have 2 kids together. I don't
Yeah.
know how long they were for together, and I do not know if they were
but
married.
their oldest kid is 9. So they've been together. They were together a while ago.
And Omarion and Apryl Jones were on the first few seasons of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And now
Love and Hip
then
Hop
they were
Hollywood.
not on it.
Yes.
Okay.
But guess what? Guess who's coming back to Love and Hip Hop
let's
Hollywood?
wait, save that. Let's build up to that. So Apryl Jones and Omarion are together. They have 2 kids. They break up. Omarion and Little Fizz are in a band together called B2K, right? They break up, but then they get back together, like because they're it's reunion season essentially for people who are over the age of 30. Time to reunite or whatever. And Lil Fizz is with this woman named Monique Slaughter. What's her name? Monique Slaughter. Monique Slaughter. They are broken up now for quite a few years too. My question for you is, when did Apryl Jones and Omarion break up? I don't really know.
In July of 2016.
Oh, so not too long ago.
No.
Okay,
no.
but interesting. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
So then Apryl Jones, this is the best part of this. Apryl Jones goes on Instagram Live and seems kind of drunk, and a lot of the headlines reporting this call her drunk. So maybe there was context. Maybe there was a larger thing where it actually shows her drinking. But she comes across as like very chatty and like very low inhibition sort of thing. And she goes on this really hilarious rant about these rumors. And they're like, people are saying that like I'm pregnant with Little Fizz's baby just because like he comments on my Mother's Day post, he comments on my Instagrams, and she says that like commenting on an Instagram post is just showing respect. It's a way of showing honor to someone.
That's the best part.
Line.
Like
It's
show
just,
honor. Like commenting on someone's Instagram post is showing honor.
It's okay. It's okay, guys. It's okay for people to reach out and just honor someone. It doesn't mean you're fucking them. It just means they're honoring you.
But I do like there's something true about what she's saying, which is like so many tabloids and like gossip blogs, their currency is tracking the comments of celebs, right? Like we look for the ulterior motives of these comments when really they could mean nothing.
Right.
They could mean nothing. And that's what she's saying. And so, but she doesn't stop there. Apryl Jones doesn't stop there. Apryl Jones keeps going.
But her point is like, she's like, you want to hear about people in my DMs and my messages showing me honor, wanting to fuck me? She's like, the game, ASAP Rocky, every basketball player.
In a way, she almost shades Little Fizz by saying, people even more famous than he is slide into my DMs all the time and want to like fuck this pussy.
Right.
This is me quoting. This is me quoting her. So let me just say I'm a celebrity because Omarion fucked this. So let me just say I'm a celebrity because Omarion fucked this pussy.
You don't have to say fuck this pussy.
And I have 2 kids by him, and now Little Fizz wants to fuck this pussy. She never says that she's pregnant with Little Fizz.
Bobby, I don't want to say fuck this pussy. Doesn't actually have to say it. Is like gonna say it.
He wants to fuck this pussy. That's it.
Yes, I'm a celebrity because Omarion fucked this pussy and I have 2 kids by him. And now Little Fizz wants to fuck this pussy. And because I'm a celebrity. And because the game wants to fuck this pussy. And because ASAP wants to fuck this pussy. And because all these guys love this fat. Why?
That's it. But it's really funny that all of the rumors that are like, she might even be pregnant. It's like nowhere in this rant
There's
did she
no
say
pregnancy.
she's pregnant. Also, she's wasted apparently. Like, she's not pregnant.
Yeah.
But then it didn't stop. So then Monique Slaughter comments on all of this as well. And she says, congratulations are in order for Apryl Jones and Teeny Fizzlepop, which is her name for Little Fizz, on the announcement of their relationship/fuckship. Congrats on moving in. Relationship/fuckship is incredible.
Wait,
Congrats on moving into the new house together. Congrats on potentially getting married and having kids. And I could not wish for a better stepmother for my son. Just be a little more respectful and mind your fucking business, and we can be the biggest, bestest blended family ever.
Okay, so that is where the rumors of pregnancy come from, is that comment, which is hilarious and very backhanded.
But she says potentially getting married and having kids. But it's such a clear like reference to the future of a relationship, not the current part of their relationship.
I'm sorry, congratulations on your relationship, and fuckship is or fuckship?
Relationship/fuckship.
/fuckship.
Yeah. She's in a fuckship. She's in a fuckship with Teeny Fizzlepop.
Wait, congratulations on your fuckship.
Calling your ex Little Fizz Teeny Fizzlepop is the rudest thing I've ever seen.
You don't even know what that means. Congratulations on your fuckship.
Okay, but before we end this,
no,
the way that this ends is because guess what premieres in a month? Love and Hip Hop
and
Hollywood
guess who's back
season 7.
in the cast?
Apryl and Monique and Little Fizz. They're all back on the show starting this next season. So
literally,
of course,
this is promo for the show.
This is promo for the show, and guess what? It's working, because when you're saying stuff like relationship/fuckship and Teeny Fizzlepop and the game wants to fuck this pussy. I'm listening.
Like, could some of this be true? Sure. But,
Yeah.
like, when the show is literally just around the corner and you're, like, amping up the promo and hanging out and, like, doing all this stuff and, like, photos of you in bed together and, like, you know, they just announced today that B2K is in OVO Fest with Drake. And people were commenting, well, how are Lil Fizz and Omarion going to, like, perform together? And it's, like, because this is, like, a fuck
Their
ship.
job. This is
showmance.
their job.
It's a showmance.
This is their job. It's all synergy, people. It's all synergy.
Joss Stone was deported from Iran. Question mark. Please explain. Goodbye.
Joss Stone just got deported from here. Just got deported from Iran. Good for Bella. Good for Bella.
This woman cannot deal with this. So
It is funny.
remember how Joss Stone is trying to sing a song in every country on the planet? She didn't really put a lot of thought into it because a lot of countries make it hard for you to do such things.
It is literally illegal for women to perform in public in Iran.
And I don't know if Joss Stone just didn't do the research or if she just thought because of her immense fame that she could get away with it.
Well, she claimed that they thought she was performing in public, but she was never going to perform in public. Like, she wasn't going to come break their laws, but they they detained her because they thought she had showed up to perform in public, you know, because she's a big star, Joss Stone.
Anyway, she's fine. She performed in Iran. She's fine. She leaves which is now typical fashion for Joss Stone during this, like, you know, crusade of hers to perform in every country on the planet for the sake of what? I don't know.
Well,
like, what is she doing this for? Awareness? But is the awareness just for Joss Stone? I don't know.
Are we gonna play
doing it for awareness of myself?
Are we gonna play the Mike Posner thing, or should we just wrap it into this? Like,
yeah, we can wrap it into this.
Speaking of, like, stars that, like, who are they? Like, going around the world, like, doing stuff for no reason. Mike Posner is, like, walking across the United States like he's fucking Forrest Gump. Although Bobby made the point that Forrest Gump at least ran.
Forrest Gump ran, and people. Okay, let's play the Mike Posner call just to get it out of the way. But really quickly, Joss Stone.
No more quickly.
They were so kind to us. At one point, I started to question it. The question whirled around in my head. Were they just luring us into a false sense of security so we could walk around our jail cells quietly without a drama? Nope. These people were genuinely nice, kind people that felt bad they couldn't ride over the system. They didn't speak English so well, so the translator Muhammad, who clearly had a lovely soul, conveyed the message that they hoped we would go to the embassy and sort it all out. After Mo left, she immediately calls him Mo. After Mo left, the officers kept telling us sorry. I don't know. There's something very Piper Kiernan about this entire thing, which
Yeah, it's true.
Whatever.
Should Joss Stone be locked up? Yes. Locked Up Abroad starring Joss Stone is, like, around the corner.
It's fine,
like,
but the
Claire
only thing
Danes
that Joss
didn't realize she was smuggling drugs in Broke Down Palace. Like, it just happens.
I'm sorry, you can't compare this to Locked Up Abroad or Claire Danes and Broke Down Palace. Joss Stone is walking into the prison cells, and she's like, what?
Okay,
Justin
so she's
walks into the
Bridget
prison
Jones in Bridget Jones' Diary 2, is what you're
Do
saying.
not act like I've seen Bridget. I've only seen the first one.
You know she's in jail for the second one, like a Thai prison.
I actually did not know that. I don't like knowing that. But Joss Stone would definitely do a Locked Up Abroad where she, like, willingly gets herself locked up abroad.
Yeah, Joss
Just
Stone
to
is
report on what
walking
it's
into
like.
jail being like, please take me. I'd love this experience.
A white famous American woman just, like, understanding what it's like to not be privileged.
Stop. I can't with Joss Stone.
What? Oh my God, Joss Stone.
Joss Stone
next.
calling Locked Up Abroad.
Really quickly. Joss Stone, please. Joss Stone, if you're listening,
Please
give us a call.
greenlight this, Joss Stone.
Really quickly.
We'll produce it.
First, hi, Who Weekly. This is a first-time medium-time caller. Just really need you guys to discuss everyone's favorite 2009, maybe, Who? Mike Posner. Recently realized that he has grown out of beard. He only plays folk music now, which we all know from I Took a Pill in Ibiza, which is remixed on the radio, but is originally a very sad song. Looked at his Twitter, he is walking across America for some reason. He's in Illinois right now, I think. Please discuss. Thank you. Me and Greece.
Mike Posner of I Took a Pill in Ibiza fame, we talked about him when that song was like very big, which is crazy. Can you imagine when that song was big? Like, I can't even remember.
2016, maybe?
So Mike Posner wrote this folk song, it got remixed, it got really popular, and now let's cut to 2019, in which we are getting calls that Mike Posner is Forrest Gumping his way across the United States. For what reason? It is unclear. First we were like, is it charity? No. Is it like some personal thing that is like, I'm trying to save whales? No. It is just because
Is it to raise the money to finish the National Monument of Scotland so they can have a full Parthenon?
Oh, that would be so nice of him.
No, he's not even doing that.
Is it to buy more pills that he could take in Ibiza? No.
Maybe the pills are supplements. We're not even talking about hard drugs. Like,
maybe they're vitamins. You don't know what pills they
might
are.
Literally, I take my turmeric every day. I took a pill. I took a pill in Bed-Stuy. I took a pill in Bed-Stuy.
Maybe it's prep. Maybe it's some, maybe it's something incredible.
Prep. Point is, we don't know why he's doing it, other than sell promotion, which is the same thing that Joss Stone is doing. But he created this very elaborate website where you can track his progress, and he has a mission.
Won't get arrested.
His goals. His mission, the mission is unclear because it says my mission. It says my mission. This is a list of cities I will walk through. There will be many other towns and cities in between. Think of these as checkpoints. The route is subject to change. Projecting dates is impossible due to weather and the condition of my body. Also, if I feel like changing my mind, I will. That being said, this is our route. There's no mission there. What is the mission? There's no mission. My goals, and his goals are like self-awareness and self-discovery and being like calm and singing for people, which again is what Joss Stone is doing.
So literally these two are on like the same journey, except Joss Stone is going to jail, and Mike Posner's feet might hurt after. He's gonna get fucked up feet. Oh, his feet.
Well, Mike Posner's realized he can't walk around the world, so he's just gonna walk.
The best is when he tweeted, "I'm not walking through Oklahoma, guys. Sorry, I'm walking New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, California."
Yeah, he's right at the center. So as of recording, his website hasn't been updated since the 9th of July, and he was in Missouri.
Okay.
And he's walked 1,200 miles as of the 9th of July. He stops in all these places. He takes photos, and there really is, and he's listening to, so he has a reading list, and they all link to Amazon, so he's getting like the affiliate link bonus for people who like want to read The Stranger and The Alchemist because of Mike Posner's recommendations. But then at the bottom, and he only has 3 audiobook recommendations, and it's like, Mike Posner, you should only be listening to audiobooks if you're walking across America. I think that's strange.
I mean, just imagine the podcast you could consume. If you listen to every episode of Who Weekly, there's like over 300, and each one is, let's say, like 30 minutes to an hour. That's at least like one state, if not more, right? You get through 2 states with that.
It's got to be close.
I'm Jenna Fisher. And I'm Angela Kinsey. We are best friends, and together we have the podcast Office Ladies, where we rewatched every single episode of The Office with insane behind-the-scenes stories, hilarious guests, and lots of laughs. Guess who's sitting next to me? Steve! It is Steve Carell in the studio. Every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from The Office and our friendship with brand new guests, and we'll be digging into our mailbag to answer your questions and comments.
So join us for brand new Office Ladies 6.0 episodes every Wednesday.
Plus, on Mondays, we are taking a second drink. You can revisit all the Office Ladies rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
Well, we can't wait to see you there. Follow and listen to Office Ladies on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
And now we're going to play a quick little game of Who or Them. We're just going to do a few, but there's a couple good ones in here that we just wanted to make sure you heard.
First time, long time, calling to ask Megan Rapinoe, who or them, soccer them, regular who, need to talk about this. Okay. Good form, Bella Thorne.
1, 2, 3. Them.
Soccer them. Current them.
No, I think
it's like Olympic them style. Like she is.
She'll be a them
she's
for
riding
6
the
months.
Olympic high. I mean, she though is way more, I think, impactful than like an Adam Rapon or like I'm thinking of other like Orion Lochte. Oh my god, like fucking disappear Ryan Lochte.
She's a very magnetic personality.
Megan
People
Rapinoe, in
love
case
her.
you don't know, is the one of the captains on the World Cup winning U.S. women's soccer team that just won like a few days ago. The big cup. The cup.
They just had a ticker tape parade for her and the rest of the team,
And
but mostly for her.
Is a big deal. She just she's on the cover of the Body issue, ESPN's Body issue, which is always a big deal, with her girlfriend, who is a basketball player, which is cute. And people are just really inspired by the team, as they are every time this comes around. I mean, I was caught up in it too, and I don't even like sports.
She's fighting for equal pay.
Yes, because the
She's
women
good.
of the soccer team get paid like 1/8 of what the men on the soccer team get paid, which is
Even
such
they make more
bullshit.
money now.
Yeah.
They make more money. The women's soccer team makes more money than the men's soccer team.
Now
so
they
people
do,
care.
or you're saying they make more money,
They
but
do
they
now.
get paid less.
They like it's a more profitable thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well it's I mean they
Yeah.
would argue, I think, if you were to say why don't they make enough money as the men, it's like, well, the men make more in advertising, but that's actually not true, especially
It's
for
not true.
soccer.
No,
Like
it's
for
not true, yeah.
soccer, no, absolutely not.
No.
Adam Scott is a who, right? Me and Grace.
1, 2, 3. Them.
I guess.
Them.
Is he? Yeah,
Parks
he's
and
kind of risen
Recreation,
above the like
the
character
old-
actor thing, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
now he's a guy. He's like he's not Paul Rudd level, but it's like people don't confuse them anymore. Remember, it would be like it's like not Paul Rudd. Who's the new guy?
You're so right. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, no, we know Adam Scott now, and Adam Scott has sort of transitioned into more like serious roles anyway.
I mean, on Big Little Lies, he is such a fucking sniveling little bitch, but that's fine.
He said, "Yeah, I'm starting Big Little Lies. I'm starting to I was like, am I a Renata? Am I a Mary Louise? Am I a Madeline?
what are you?
It's like I think I'm the ex-husband. I think I'm Zoe Kravitz's husband." I'm like a mix of the two dudes. I was like, I don't think I'm actually cool enough to be one of the women. I think I'm a mix of Adam Scott and the ex-husband.
I don't think this is a good show to say it's not like I'm a Carrie. Like, this is not a show in which you want to identify or
because
be
they're all
any of the
terrible.
women.
Well, they're all terrible. But don't you find yourself with every show? You're like, which one am I? Which one am I?
But not with this show, because
Oh, I do. I did it at Chernobyl. I did it with Chernobyl.
Well, you're a sick person. That's what we're proving here.
It's like, which one am I?
Okay. Well,
Please, you don't watch shows and say like, which one am I?
not Big Little Lies.
I do it with everything.
Just
I'm the bridge. I'm just the bridge.
Just Golden Girls. Yeah, I'm one of the children who's like, what? Huh? Yeah.
You're
Huh?
you're Ziggy. You're Ziggy. Lindsay's a Ziggy. I'm the two dudes combined.
I'm the twin that's not abusive.
They were both abusive
Oh,
at
okay,
this
great.
point.
So I'm not the twin.
They're starting fights left and right.
Okay.
Okay, Holly Madison, who or them?
2, 3. Who?
Who?
Textbook who?
Textbook who? Like, literally starred in reality show, dated Hugh Hefner, dated Chris Angel. Remember that?
Has not
wrote a
transitioned
book
into
about
them.
it.
No. Comfortable being a who, loves being a who. That is where she is. That is where she'll stay. Holly Madison.
Vegas who?
Hi, Who Weekly. Was just listening about the blind item with Sarah Jessica Parker. Seems obvious, obviously Vince Vaughn. But it leads into a heated discussion we were having at Dim Sum this weekend. Is Chris Noth a who or a them? Thank you. Scarjo Yummy Pop, R.I.P.
1, 2, 3. Who?
Who, I think.
Who? He is always
one iconic role, nothing
one iconic
else.
role. That's the who. That's what makes him
Yeah.
who. He will always be associated with big. He's big first. He's Chris Noth second. That's it. I mean, I guess there's the Law and Order argument to be made, but I don't think anything will ever be as big as big.
Law and Order has too many people, too many parts,
That's
too many
true.
seasons.
Too many people. Too many Law and Orders. I don't even know which
Because if
Law
you
and
were
Order
like,
he's on.
who does Chris Noth play on Law and Order? I'd be like, oh, Chris
Pelé.
Noth. Like, who does he play on Law and
Pelé.
Order? I would say, like, he plays Chris Noth.
No, he's big.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's John on Law and Order. He's
Big,
John.
Mr. Big on Law and Order is funny. Oh, don't you know Mr. Big?
No,
the
then he
lawyer?
would but then he would full on be just a like scandalous Donald Trump character because like
He's
Big
like,
is Donald
Carrie.
Trump, but like a fun version of like a sexy Donald Trump.
Big is Donald Trump when we thought what we thought about him in
98, yeah.
1999. Like Big is not Donald Trump now. Big is like what Donald Trump represented to people in the late
And now
90s.
it's like
Hey, Who Weekly. Come on now. My name's Bridget. I love you guys. I want to know, Olympia fucking Dukakis. Who are them? Them of my heart. Thank you so much.
1, 2, 3.
Who?
Them.
No, she's a who.
No, she's a them. That name.
Name
Everyone
something
knows
she
that
was
name.
in.
Steel Magnolias.
Name something else she was in.
Tales of the City.
Name something else.
Moonstruck.
She's a who to me.
She is a them.
You are versed in old women, so I don't think you count.
I just named, you were like, name something else, and I kept naming things.
Who is more famous, Tyne Daly or Olympia Dukakis?
Olympia Dukakis.
Is she related to the Dukakis politician?
Yeah, she's the first cousin of Michael Dukakis.
That's what I thought. Well, not, I didn't know that. That was such a lie.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Can we move on, please?
Have I told my Olympia Dukakis story on the air?
When else would you have told it?
I never told my Olympia Dukakis story. God. Here's what happened. Here's my Olympia Dukakis story. I was at the bar, Blue and Gold. Remember Blue and Gold?
Yes, of course. How could I forget?
Divey bar near NYU. I didn't go to NYU, but I was like 20.
I did. Someone called in and said that you talk about your college a lot, and I never talk about my college. I went to NYU.
I feel like you talk about your college all the time.
I don't, but someone was like, Lindsay, where do you go to college? Bobby always talks about his college. First of all, what if I didn't go to college? Would you judge me? But I did go to NYU, so it's fine.
Yeah, college doesn't matter. College doesn't matter. But I was at NYU, an NYU divey bar called Blue and Gold, because those are the NYU colors, right? That's why it's called that?
Blue and gold? No, they are not. It's purple.
Then what's blue and gold?
Not the NYU colors, my friend.
Okay, right, purple. Okay, so I'm in Blue and Gold for a birthday party. And it's like a Friday night, and it's like pretty poppin', but not like super crowded. And there's a pool table in the back, and it's like an old dump. Like this bar is a dump, and it has this old pool table, and above the pool table, there are all these photos on the wall. Old photos in old frames of old people at either Blue and Gold or like, you know, McSorley's, other old bars. It's just like old people. And I'm sitting there and I notice Olympia Dukakis walk into Blue and Gold on like a Friday night where everyone there is like 24 years old, myself included. And Olympia, maybe I'm 25. Point is, Olympia is with this younger guy, but not by much. So I was assuming that it was her son. Although who knows, they looked kind of the same and they were talking to each other in a very like familial way. And they beeline to the back near that pool table. No one is playing and no one's looking at those photos. And she starts pointing at the photos and then talking to the younger man. And I was like, oh my God, like Olympia is either in these photos or like knows someone in these photos. This is wild. And I was like, I gotta say, and I was like talking to my friends. I was like, am I crazy or is that Olympia Dukakis? And they're like, yes and yes. And so I walk over to her and I'm like a little drunk. And I was just like, excuse me.
No.
And I was like,
no.
Miss Dukakis.
No.
I just have to say, I'm a huge fan. And I just think it's like wild to see you in here. But I
she was in Blue
had to say
and
hello. And she looks at me and she's like, and I hold up my hand to shake her hand and she shakes it very loosely, is not into this handshake at all, kind of gives me like a worried look, like, why is this like weirdo, like homo saying hi to me in Blue and Gold? And then they immediately left. They just walked out. And I was like, oh, damn. Like, I feel like Olivia was like, wow, I did not think I would get recognized at Blue and Gold. Anyway, then she walked out of the bar.
Goes to like the diviest, straightest bar in town, and Bobby's like, hello, Miss Dukakis.
Hey, bitch, it's me. Bet you thought you'd see the last of me, bitch. I'm here, honey. Olympia. Like, skips over, snap, 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 snap.
Wait, I can't.
Don't think you can avoid me, sweetie.
I can't believe you saw Olympia Dukakis.
Olympia. I'm telling you, she's a them. Okay. With that, we are done. As always, call 619-WHO-THEM to leave us questions, comments, concerns, and who are them people. Thank you to calling, for those of you who did. Sorry we didn't get to play all the calls. We get so fucking many, and it's just increasing by the day, which
wild.
I'm not complaining about.
We
it's
got
just like,
some
oh
good
my
goss
God.
that we couldn't play.
Oh my God,
we loved what you know who you are who called with some goss. We loved it.
One of you called in with incredible lesbian goss. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No one knows what it is. I want the caller to know how much joy I got from that call.
I was there. He got a lot of joy.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Support us on patreon.com/whoweekly. And we will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening. We love you all. Bye.
I want to be famous.
Hey, Lindsay Bobby, first time caller. Okay, so I just had a super jarring experience and I really need your guys' help. So I just left a grinder hookup's house and when I got there, he asked me if I wanted any water, to which I replied yes. And I kid you not, when he walked back, he gave me a grape-flavored Propel. So at this point, my mind was blown. Okay, so whatever, I leave the house, and I just need to know, is Propel a who or a them? And while we're on this topic, is vitamin water a who or them? Because at this point, I don't even know what to think, and I need to know if I need to speak to him ever again. So, Propel, vitamin water, who or them? R.I.P. Scarjo Yamita, crunch crunch. Bye.